Alrighty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Potomac Curling Club after our fairly quick turnaround. We are at the 14th draw. Jimmy Fallon's team, although Jimmy Fallon is actually away from this draw, so Brian Breen is skipping for him, versus the Caruba rink, who we're working on getting the team members for them, so bear with us for just a minute. We have just begun, and that's where we are. So we will welcome to the game, and we will give you all sorts of updates on all sorts of things as events as we get a chance to move on. All right, so what we're showing here in this game, as I was saying, is Fallon versus Caruba. This is an Akabono Cherry event, the C event. This is a quarterfinal match. The winner will be advancing to the semifinals Sunday at 9 a.m. The loser will be done. And just so you know, on sheet C and D, we have the A events, we have the A event semifinals, so we'll be giving you lots of updates from over there as we can. So we're working our way through the team rosters as we speak. Adam Cap is apparently the second for Fallon's team, skipped by 8. And I'm assuming I should know the guy in the white and black checkered pants, but I'm sorry I don't. And I don't at the moment have anybody from Team Caruba.
I've got their roster.
Got their roster?
Linda
Carubian is the skip. The vice?
The vice is Patty Hefner.
The vice is Patty Hefner.
The second is Nicolala.
Is who?
That's what it says on here.
Yeah. So we're told the second is Rick. Rick is skipping. Aha. So although Caruban is the team, Rick is skipping, which means Linda's probably throwing second. We're not 100% certain on that. And who's the lead?
The lead, it says John Smith.
Okay, that's entirely possible. Okay, so we'll be honest here. The team rosters are pretty much more or less theoretic things at this point. We're not 100% sure who's playing on which team in what position. If we manage to figure it out, we'll let you know. Feel free to chime in on our chat, and please be gentle about the fact that we have no earthly clue who's curling in the game that we are currently broadcasting.
How's that? Am I on? There we go.
So let's see what we got here. Where are we sitting right now? At the moment, we have 2 yellow rocks, which is Team Caruban not being skipped by Linda Caruban, in the house. 1 in the 4, 1 in the 8. And Fallon
Fallon minus Fallon.
No,
as we
I'm
go
sorry.
on Thursday night.
Fallon minus Fallon is actually yellow. So they're the ones with the 2 stones in the house. Caruba not being skipped by Caruba is the one who just threw the red takeout. And yeah, I believe that, Mark. Thank you. Okay. We are going through this. We are updating this. So we're being told Stacy Smith is the lead for Team Caruba. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate that. And Rick is skipping. Rip Balula. I'm botching that name, and I know that, and I apologize. And we're assuming that that means that Linda is throwing second. No, Linda's Linda's throwing vice, and Patty is throwing second. We don't know that for certain, however. Honestly, we got much better chances of actually figuring out Team Fallon because they're all from Potomac. The Team Caruba is. Are they actually from Chesapeake? They are from Chesapeake, aren't they? I recognize
They are.
many
Well,
of
they're
these.
registered as from Plainfield, and
From
because
Plainfield?
Linda is from Plainfield.
Okay.
But Rick is from Chesapeake.
Rick is from Chesapeake. Actually, I thought one of the other players looked like somebody I played against at Chesapeake, but maybe I'm wrong.
That's quite possible. It could be a 2-2 split. That's
True.
not uncommon.
So,
I recognize this as Nick.
yes,
Datlow.
this is Nick Datlow throwing. Nick Datlow is throwing vice. We know this. Okay. So, Nick Datlow is the vice. Skipping is Brian Breen. And we know Adam Kapp is throwing 2. We're not 100% sure of the identity of the lead yet, but we're working on it. And that's for Team Fallon, who is throwing yellow. Jimmy Fallon is not here at the moment. Linda just delivered that rock. Okay, that rock was a skip, was a vice rock, so we got that one right. Woo! All right, thank you for getting a straight mark.
And Fallon, Datlow for Team Fallon makes that nice takeout, gets a good roll under the cover there to go back to sitting 2.
Very true, very true. Okay, I apologize for the fact that we are going to bomb on these names 74 more times tonight because our little notepad that we're trying to keep all this straight is already a mess, and we're only in the first end. We do know that Rich, the skip, is coming back for his first skip stone. Yes, his first skip stone. Incidentally, yellow has the hammer, which is the Fallon team being skipped by Brian Breen.
And so based on the ice call, it looks like he's just going for a heavy hit here to remove one or both of those yellow rocks, which seems like a fine call.
Absolutely.
It's open.
You've
got to get him out of there.
From having watched 2 games on this sheet, that's actually probably not enough ice unless he's throwing a really heavy weight, which he threw a fairly heavy weight. And he was actually also wide. I'm afraid he may not come back. No, he's not coming back. He's going to slide past that on the outside. He missed the broom wide, and at this weight on this ice, it's not coming back. Now, something that'll be interesting we'll see in the second end is they've repebbled before this game, but in the last 2 games, coming back home in the even ends, at draw weights, if you're moving from our right to our left, there is probably about 30 feet of curl. It's been insane the way the stones at draw weight have been cutting that way. So we'll see if that's still sticking around or not. Brian Breen looks like with that ice. Guarding? That's not enough ice for a guard.
No, I'd say I would have thought guard, but that looks like it's probably a draw.
Yeah, he's probably trying to draw behind. There's 4 yellow stones in play right now. 2 of them in the house, being that 1-2 kissed up next to each other in the 8. There is a guard about a foot short of the house on the center line, and there's another guard about a foot short of the house guarding edge 8 on the other side of the sheet.
There's basically a low 2, high 3 center guard and a tight corner guard.
Exactly, and yeah, from this ice, Brian's pretty much looks like he's trying to draw behind that center guard, which playing against Brian, that's kind of his game. He'll tend to load the house and force you to play against a lot. So that's kind of his game. Fortunately, he's blocking me, so I can't actually see what's going on with the stone.
He is all over the rocks in the house.
Yeah.
So he's going to just nestle into the pile, I guess?
No, actually, he got enough break. He put that on the button.
That's a great spot, because now that double on those 2 yellows up high will probably jam on that one that's on the button now.
Yeah, true.
So there's not really a lot of chance to remove a stone there.
At least not, yeah. But the stone on the button is open.
It is.
So he could hit that and actually, with just a little bit of roll behind that center guard and put himself in a really good spot. But then, of course, Brian could try the raise, which we know he's got that shot. At least I know he's got that shot in his book. I'm not sure I'd want to make it the first end if I was him. But so what do you think's going on with that ice? Is that a blast, or is that a draw?
That is something probably maybe like heavy draw weight. Like it's not a ton of ice for a draw, but it's a lot for a hit. So maybe he's going for maybe like a freeze here?
That's a heavy draw weight. Shaping nicely.
It looks like it has room around that guard.
Plenty of room on the guard. It's going to pretty much just nose that shot on the center. And he did not get a roll, so he's open. And he didn't get Brian's stone out either. So Brian Breen, getting ready to throw the hammer, is looking at a possibility for a pick, and if his shooter sticks, he could get 4 out of this, which would have to make him feel good. I will endeavor to remain unbiased in this game, but Adam Kapp and Nick Datlow are on my Monday men's team. And I got to be honest, they're as middle twos go, they're very strong. So I don't know Team Caruba at all, but Caruba, but they're up against it as far as a very strong center team. Brian, however, is a relatively inexperienced skip. This is only his 2nd season skipping. So the potential is there for Rich to expose some weaknesses if he can play the tactical game well. On the other hand, Breen's the one with a hit for 4. So, you know, what am I saying? Stone's on its way. If I were him, it's got to move some. I think he's there. He is there. He's going to have enough to get out.
Just past the one in the
Yes!
back, just to be out-counted by the one in the back.
That is a 4. Brian Breen takes 4 in the first end. So let's update some other games here. Over on sheet D, Stefanik versus Webb, the team that is yellow, which I believe is Stefanik.
I see the Skinners walking down the ice with yellow.
So that's
stone.
yellow. Okay. It took a 4 in the first end to go up 4-0. Sheet C just completed the first end. It's Mangold versus Noble. We're trying to figure out which team's which. I can't read that man's name tag. Is the man in the yellow hat Noble? Which team's from Plainfield?
That's what I'm looking. So out of Mangold and Noble, Noble is a team out of Ardsley, so Mangold looks like to be a Plainfield team.
Okay, so that.
So the guy in the house is wearing a Plainfield sweater.
So that would make him Mangold?
I would bet a small amount of money on it, but not a ton the way teams have been going this weekend.
Yeah, good point. So the games on C and D, as I was saying, are A event semifinals. So those teams are fighting for spots in the A event championship, which will be held at noon tomorrow. But we believe on sheet C that Mangold took a 1 to go up 1-0. Over on sheet A, they're still working their way through the first end. Nichols versus Corcoran. Or Corcoran. Caruba lead. Stacy Smith just went through the house. I'm pretty sure that was just heavier than she meant it to be. So Fallon's lead in a dashing pair of white and black checkered pants and a very stylish hat, if I do say so myself, is throwing his stone. Unfortunately, he's not wearing a very stylish name tag, so we're not sure who he is. He's being asked to throw a guard. And looks to me as though he's got the line.
Looks like he might maybe touch there. That's not too bad.
Close to a freeze. Yeah, it's about 3 inches short of a freeze. That's workable. Okay. It's 3 inches by my angle. Our smart aleck video operator is telling me it's more like a foot. But
it's enough separation that the double is challenging, but not impossible.
So we have a score for the first end. Yellow scored something between 1 and 3 points. I can't tell the rest because somebody's standing in the way. Alrighty, going for the attempted double and just wide. Skates out the outside. Now Brian's going for the center guard.
And now I can see that the score was 1 for yellow over on sheet A.
Okay.
And the yellow team is team not Nichols, the other one. Who's the other one? Oh, Corcoran. Corcoran from Palmetto.
Okay, with 2 Potomac people on it.
No, Nicholson's the one. Well, actually, Corcoran might have Potomac people too.
Well, because that's Howard and that's Ann.
Oh, no, they're on Nichols. Howard is on Brian Nichols' St. Catherine's team.
Okay. So that's them.
And they're red.
So
Corcoran was the 1 yellow
right.
For Palmetto.
And Ann Drummy is skipping for Nichols this game. So it's massive chaos draw here at 7 p.m. And I'm sure it'll only get worse in the next draw at 10:15.
Oh, I mean, it's been the winter that doesn't end. I'm sure. I mean, we've seen even at the Scotties teams doing like elbow bumps and things instead of handshakes because flus are going around.
Yeah, it's
every team by now at this point in the season has lost a member or is looking to lose a member. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I think the team that's left will be the team that wins.
That's a really nice draw. Really tight around those guards.
Yeah,
right to the button.
Can't do much better. It is exposed on the right-hand side. Not
just barely, but yeah, the shooter's left does have a little piece of that showing. So.
And we should have mic'd these guys. Brian's great to listen to on a mic.
Yeah, we started trying. We actually got some new equipment, some sound compression equipment to sort of mitigate the variance in volume of the skips from when they're just casually making a shot call like, hey, let's throw a guard up here, to when they do that characteristic.
This is beautiful. He's past the guards, got the
nice
tap.
Touch.
Doesn't take it all the way out, but makes it to 3. So right now, yellow's lying 1-2. The red stone is definitely 3. That was a very nice touch. Adam throws some awesome second stones.
Rick here calling for hack weight on this hit.
Adam Cap actually regularly plays just to throw more complexity in this thing. Adam is a Potomac member this year, but he's on loan to us from San Francisco because he's on contract here in Washington. So he's not a regular Potomac curler either.
Oh, but this is over curling.
This is over curling.
And it's going to jam up on those guards. Oh, it's just going to peel the top.
Peel the top peel. Is it going to go out? Yes. Not technically out of, yes, technically out of play. Okay. Thought it maybe not, but it is out of play. So still lying 1-2. Team Fallon, skipped by Breen. Already up 4, looking at 2. Nick Datlow throwing his first. Ryan asked for a guard up top. He's definitely got that. He wants him to sweep it to a bite. Not going to get that far.
Not a bite, but it does line up
nice
pretty nicely with that rock in the house.
That's a nice guard. I don't know Rick's. Oh well, Rick's not shooting yet. How's Rick's pool game? So Rick is asking the vice, Linda Caruba, who the team is actually named after, to draw. I think he's asking for a freeze on the shot stone in the back of the 4.
Yeah, it's definitely a down weight shot to try to use that that bend you were talking about, coming home, going from our right to our left.
Yeah, this would be a shot that'll show it like crazy.
It's pretty wide, though, and it's going to end up hitting that guard, but it might bump that to maybe second shot if they can sweep it in there. And it does look like they achieved that much at least.
But it's
to cut
wide
yellow
open.
down to 1. It is wide open.
So from what I know from Brian, he's going to
Nick throw right at that.
Yeah, he'll chip that out and try to roll to make it a second guard. Yeah, I think it was a disturbing sequence of broom touches. I'm not 100%
I agree with you on the call, but it did look like he was trying to say roll out.
Yeah.
Which would then possibly jam the red onto the yellow, which is not at all.
Yeah, I gotta believe he really means to cross face, chip the red out that way that he just put the broom and roll his yellow. Yeah. That's gotta be what he means. And Nick Datlow tends to deliver a very good, precise stone. Sweepers are on it a lot, though.
It's way down weight.
This is what I'm talking about the curl. See what I'm saying?
It's not a ton of curl, but he just doesn't have the weight, and it's gonna tick the guard there.
Now, if he hadn't ticked the guard, you would have seen the stone make a left. That's all there is to it. It's been crazy these last couple ends. Draws rather. So all of our games are working their way through the second end. They're all appear to be approaching at least vice stones or skip stones. So we'll update you on some scores as soon as we get some. Very open end going on here on sheet C. As Mangold had a stone in the back 4, but it was just taken out by Noble, who is now sitting shot. And he got enough roll. I think he's actually behind the guard. That was a very well executed shot. Over here on our feature sheet, we're going to move some granite. So the line of 3 is no longer, but now it's, what do we got on going here?
We've got yellow is lying 2.
That red is exposed, completely exposed.
Red is exposed. Yellow is then also 4th. And so they're removing that red could get another 3, could be a potential 3 or 4 there for yellow.
Although, and this is yeah, they were just starting. Brian Breen getting ready to throw his first skips rock of the end. Okay, we can now definitely confirm Webb is red on sheet D. Because I read the back of his shirt.
Oh, yes.
And he's throwing his hammer, actually staring in the face of 2 yellow. That game could get out of hand in a hurry. He doesn't make this shot.
No.
Brian Breen's first stop. He's looking for the hit. I don't think he's got enough weight.
It doesn't look like hit weight. It looks like about T weight or less.
Not even.
He's not going to make any contact on that red stone.
No, it's just going to curl in.
He's going to make a nice raise there, sort of, to sit 3 now.
Okay.
And those ones on the 4-foot are reasonably guarded.
No, actually they're not. There's a good sized gap between those 2 yellows at the top of the house. And honestly, if he hits that gap just like he's looking at, I'm not sure I agree with him about the draw line. I don't think that's there, but the hit line's definitely there.
Yeah, it is wide enough to throw a hit through. It's not huge port, but it's definitely enough that if a rock is moving pretty quick, it will get right through there.
Yeah, and honestly, at draw weight, which is what he looked like he was just calling for, I'll see what he does. Is what I'll do. And apparently, Webb successfully scored on D because he's throwing his first stone. Not sure what he got out. It must have been a 1 pretty much because that was all I could really see him getting. And yep, over on sheet D, Webb took 1 to be down 4-1 after 2 against Stefanik. The other 3 games are still working their way through the second end. That's a viable shot. So he came through the port with a tight, not really a hard hit weight, but enough of a hit weight, and the bounce put his shot on the button. So he's lying 1. Now Breen's got at least 2 and 3. 2 and 3.
It looks like 2 and 3. Red's got that one full 8-foot for 4th. And then there's some things out there on the fringe, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, but those are less and less relevant as we move on.
Yeah, exactly. As we're getting ready for Brian to throw his second skips rock final stone of the end for him. Team Caruba has the hammer in this. Brian looking to follow the draw. Well, he's calling the same line, so I'm assuming he's basically looking to follow the hard draw.
Yeah, following the draw seems fine. Because it's not his hammer, he's not looking for a ton of points. He's looking basically to force Rick to 1 here. I see some potential for something looking like a raised double there, but there's no need to throw that.
Yeah, that'll be that fancy. He's up 4.
Yeah, exactly. I think following the draw here is fine. It will make if he's in there, it will make a very nice force to Rick to 1. It looks a little wide, but it's got a lot of bend in this direction.
This is the bend,
should hit the port.
Here it comes. Okay. Nick just called the sweepers on, so he's happy about the line. If it doesn't overcurl, that's gonna, that may have started wide, but see what I was talking about right there? So, although that's gonna make it even harder for Rick to get it 2. He's gonna have to come the other way, and I don't think he's thrown anything over there yet this game.
No, he hasn't. He has a little bit of backing, but he can't exactly use it because if he comes all the way down to that yellow, he probably won't have enough of the 4-foot to be second shot.
I think you're right. Over on sheet C, I'm pretty sure that Mangold just took 1 to tie it up. They haven't hung it yet, but that's what I thought I saw as they were getting ready to kick rocks.
We said Mangold's the one in the green because he's calling the shot, so he did score. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, just questions. My question is whether he got 1 or 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mangold, yeah, he got at least 1. I think he only got 1.
And over on A, we're still finishing up the second. We're on Skip's Rocks.
All right.
I see Ann setting up for her first of 2.
Here comes Rick's hammer. He's trying to draw to get the second shot from the other side. He's coming the other way. He hasn't thrown anything out here, so we're not sure about the weight. They put the sweepers on it awful early. Here comes the draw. I don't think this has the mustard.
No.
And even if it does, it hits the guards.
And even if it crashes, it's not even heavy enough to accidentally promote a yellow in or anything. That's going to be 1
That's
red.
a 1. That's a 1 red. So that makes our score 4-1 in favor of Team Fallon, skipped by Brian Breen, over Team Caruba, skipped by Rick Wickham.
Yes.
Right, because we just can't have anything straightforward today. This is why we don't have nice things.
You can't tell your players on a scorecard. And,
And we have a scorecard. It's not helping.
The scorecard is not right either.
Okay, and ticks off that, rolls over there. Pretty sure red takes 1 if that's the last stone at the end, which it's not, so never mind. That's the starting hammer. All right. So we're starting off the third end. And we'd like to welcome all of the various viewers watching this live stream on live stream, strangely enough. 22 folks apparently right now. Feel free to ask any questions or anything in the chat box. We'll give you updates on other sheets as the games go on. If you have a particular game of interest, mention it, and we'll be sure to focus on it as best we can. No, it's the Caruba or something. Oh, it's So that stone got put, where did that stone get put? That stone is just top 12. Okay. Somebody to push my button on my computer. Okay, this is Stacy Smith's second stone. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's not. It's Patty Hefner's first stone. No, that is Stacy's second.
Yeah,
her
first one was hog.
Yeah.
I only saw them kicking it through the house as it stopped short.
And this one is fillet.
Yep. Draws on about the same line as that yellow one. Just goes a little deeper.
All right, so both of the A event semifinals are in the third end. And on sheet C, it is 2-0 in favor of Mangold. And it is 4-1 on sheet D in favor of Stephanie. We're throwing the hammer over on sheet A right now. It's going to be a minute before we can give you a score because all 16 stones are in play.
And
1 red.
Yeah.
Ties that up at 1. Nichols versus Kokorin are tied at 1. Not sure, but I think between those two ends on A, 30 of the 32 stones have been in play at the end of the ends. They're not playing a very clean game.
Yeah, they're not playing a clean game. And you notice of the 4 games, that one took the longest to get through the second. But when all 16 rocks are in play, those Vice and Skip stones take a lot more planning than they normally do.
Okay, so the red rock thrown by Patty Hefner tapped the yellow stone that had been shot back to the back 12. Crazy exposed.
Yeah, there are no guards. Everything is exposed.
Yeah, that's true. There are no guards in this, yeah. So as opposed to the game on sheet A, this one's probably going to be a fairly open end, barring some errors.
Yeah, it's not exactly a clean game, but it does look like it's going to be a relatively open one. Brian looks like he's playing a lot of the down weight hits. Just going to keep chasing the red ones around the house, knocking them around. And eventually the game plan looks like it'll be just fill the house with yellow rocks, which is a good game plan if you're in the yellow team.
Yeah, especially when you're already ahead 4-1 after 2. And that's just outside. Is the shooter going to hang? No.
No, it is out of the house
in play.
Yeah, not of any consequence, but on the sheet.
Just a tripping hazard. Hooray.
In the area I like to refer to as the penalty box.
Exactly. The area I like to refer to is where Alan trips over stones all the time.
Coffin corner was another good one I've heard.
Coffin corner's good. Technically free guard zone. Although we're out of the free guard zone now on this end.
Oh, I'm being corrected that behind the tee does not count as free guard zone, even if it's on.
Oh, no, actually, that's finishing much nicer than I thought it was going to. No, that's just T-line deep, exposed, 8 foot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice draw as far as, the call was a draw and she got it there, really perfect T-line weight. But when there are just no guards in play, there's really no good places to draw to.
Yeah.
Especially when, Brian has the hammer. And so he gets to answer every shot. He's just going to answer every shot with taking it out.
Except he's going to miss this answer.
This one does look...
Because this stone did not come off the center line at all.
Just going to flash. There it goes.
Yeah. Adam has that problem sometimes. Like I said, I skip for him on Monday men's. He's a very, very competent curler. But it's weird. His stones, sometimes it's like they're on a rail. They don't curl. He's got a good handle set. Everything seems right, but sometimes they just don't move. This is Vice Linda Caruban's first. She looks like... Oh.
It looks light.
Must be. It must be. Rick's coming out to sweep it too. Putting 3 brooms on it just to get it past the hog.
It's just getting over the center line.
Question is it going to get over the hog line?
It's over the hog line, but it's not. Oh, and it actually ends up over the shot rock.
Yeah,
so it is a pretty good guard.
Yeah, as high guards go, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's not a bad plan against Brian because he's been trying to play this chase and hit game. So is he going to come at it? Is he coming at it the other way, or is he raising that? He's got to be just coming at it the other way.
Either one seems like a fine option. You just got to be careful you don't split the difference and just peel the yellow and don't get anywhere.
But depends on the bend. No, he's going to peel the guard. No, he's not. He's going to peel the guard. Actually knows the guard. And promoted it to the button. Now past the button. That was not what he had in mind.
Now, if Rick can put a guard on that, he wants a tight center guard.
Exactly.
Suddenly, he's in control of his end.
This is the kind of thing I was talking about. Breen's skip game can have holes on occasion. He's a good young skip, and he's going to be good with time, but he's a young skip. And this stone doesn't seem to be curled.
Yeah, it's got the weight. I think they wanted to just let this curl a bit,
but if anything, it fell off.
Oh, I think it may have flipped handle. It looks like it's breaking the other way. at the end there.
Yeah, if anything, it fell. Maybe it was a handle switch. So that gives Breen a wide open shot at that stone on the button, and it's behind the tee. He could freeze now. That line's not a freeze line. Never mind. I was gonna say he could consider freezing to it, but not with that ice. Let's see if this stone has a problem coming off the center line like the other ones seem to have.
So there's the contact, there's the roll.
Didn't quite roll enough to get behind the guard.
Didn't get behind the guard, and it
90% exposed, but it does have a jam possibility. And actually, with the pick out line, the jam is very much a possibility.
And it looks like it rolled just enough to not be shot anymore. So I still think the red stone is the shot stone.
So I think it looks like Rich is considering freezing to it. No, that's too much of a line. That's too much. Does it feel like a freeze line to you? It's coming off the center like that?
I don't know that it's quite enough for a freeze. Maybe he's going to go like a hack weight hit here or something, but
too much ice for a hack weight hit. Maybe he's just, unless he wants to cross face. That is enough ice for a cross face hit, I suppose.
Maybe he's throwing like a control weight hit. It doesn't look like enough for draw weight. It looks like it's up from draw, but I'm not a ton because he's that pretty wide room there for a take.
Honestly, he only threw draw.
But he also threw off the center line, and the broom was on the center line. So if they let that bend, they don't have to let it bend. It's bending. So if they can drag that down, it looks like it's going to be like a nose freeze.
If it's got the distance,
not quite nose. It's going to be a
4 feet short of the nose.
Nice draw.
It is shot currently, though.
It is shot, and so I think that is 1-2 for red.
It is high enough, though, that the double's there. It's a cross-ice double. It's a long double, but it's there. And is this Nick or is this Brian? This is Brian's first. Brian's willing to throw that shot. I'd be more than happy to update you on the other sheets, Brian, but none of them have scored. Actually, that's not true. Sheet D did score. They've got their third. The score on D is currently 7-1 in favor of Stefanik. They put up a big round number. They put up a 3 in the third end to go up 7-1. We don't have third end scores in any of the other sheets because they're all still on the third end. Although, yeah, they're also throwing the third end, and actually none of them have even made it to Skip's Rock on the third yet. Yeah, it looks like Shide is putting all the rocks in play again.
Yeah, they might not even be up to vice rocks unless they're just changing the order even further. Because Howard is listed as the vice and was sweeping that stone instead of throwing it. But again, what the roster says and what everyone's doing is two different things tonight.
Let's see, Brian.
He got the red, but he jammed it on a yellow, but he is shot.
Yep. Open exposed though. Stefanik is down 7-1 on sheet D.
Stefanik is up 7-1 on sheet.
You are correct over Webb. You are absolutely correct. Yes. Sheet C, they're still throwing the third. Sheet A, they're still throwing the third. B, we're on Red's last rock. Yellow's shot. Yellow is, however, exposed. He's going for the hit. Depending on the roll, he could be laying 2.
Depending on the roll, it could also leave Brian an opportunity to get that other redstone out
He's
of the
going to
house.
at least cross the face. I think he may have missed this on the outside. He did.
By the narrowest of margins. Does take one out of the back, though, which isn't irrelevant. It doesn't change the shot stone situation, but it does take a potential point away from Brian there if he can make this takeout somehow. But now that he's shot, I guess he may just play the draw for 2.
Yeah, because the red stone that's currently the second shot's behind a very high guard. I mean, very high. I'm actually not sure who is chairing this sponsor.
Vince Saratella is the chair.
Vince Saratella is sharing this, actually, for Brian, who is asking. All right, Brian Breen taking a look at his last stone. Over there? Really? He's calling that turn? Or is he going for the hit to take the 3? I mean,
up 4-1, I think I would just draw for 2, but he may just be trying to get all the points he can. It's hard to fault him for that kind of logic.
Yeah. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, it only took 3 days, but I finally found the microphone.
He's coming in.
So we're going to do the round.
He might have this. He might have this. If he's got enough weight.
Glorious chili.
He's got 1.
He's got at least 1. Oh.
They are calling it 2. So they're saying that Brian Breen got 2 to move up 6-1 after 3. On sheet C, Mangold stole another one, up 3-0 over Noble.
And on A, they don't quite have all the rocks in play. I see a couple in the garage back there.
Potomac Curling Club T-shirt and a gold line groom bag.
So Breen is up 6-1 after 3. We'll see if he starts to play a more closed defensive game, although it doesn't look like it.
No, he didn't. I think I heard him through the glass say in the house is fine. So.
And the winner is a blue ticket. Ian Webb.
Yeah, to answer your question, Brian Damon, at the moment, no.
Item number 2. This glorious walking stick.
He is currently up 7-1 over on sheet A, Brian, after 3.
And the winner, a yellow ticket. FL Atlant.
And the skip's having a little
Item
sweep
number
off.
3. Lucky Witchy Basket.
Looks like Rick won. Rich won.
He did. Having some more deliberations on A. I believe it's time for Yellow's hammer. But of course, with about 32 rocks in play, or however many are over there in the house.
I actually see 2 yellow stones out of play.
Yeah,
so
there's at least 1 red back there too.
So 12.
The winner is a yellow ticket. FL Atlant.
The noise you may hear in the background is they're doing the raffle, and so far FL Atlant has won everything.
Ian Webb won 1 prize. He's on the ice, so someone will have to let him know.
Alright, so a stone just got
That'll be his
picked up.
consolation over there from his game with Stefanik there.
Yeah, at the moment
he's
it's
not having a great game, but he has won something.
Well, on the plus side, he's in an event final. Win or lose, the guys over on C and D. If they win, they're in the A final. If they lose, they're in the D.
Yeah, it's a nice spot to be when you know you've locked up a game on Sunday, and it's not the C semifinal like this team will be playing into on A and B.
And here, is it gonna?
It's got enough for the touch.
It's gonna tick
the
out.
Yellow is out. The red is gonna bite.
It hangs on. Our camera fisheyes a little bit. It may or may not be. It's one of those biter bar situations.
Yeah, it's one of those. The guy standing on top of it can tell better than we can.
Yeah. So if we see them do something with it, okay. Well, Breen's wanting to freeze to it, so that would take care of the problem. Okay, so they're kicking stones over on A. Don't know what the score is.
It's all right. They're all down there by the board, so someone's going to hang a number momentarily, I presume.
This stone looks heavy for a freeze.
It also is.
It's also
wide.
not on the
It's
line. So the question is it going to get swept through or not? Does he put a broom on it? Yep, that's through. That's a clean miss. And the 3 has been pulled out of the box. Over on A. Oh, a red 3. Nichols hangs up a 3 to go up 4-1. And we have a massive chaos as somebody trips on the ice. Everybody okay?
Everyone is back up. We've just had some rock scatter. We're sorting those all out. But everyone on sheet A is back
Everyone's
upright.
okay. All right.
I'm back in the game. No sweat.
All right. So
Stefanik there over on D broke the mirror. The score on D and B were perfectly matched through 2 ends, but Yellow on D managed to get 1 extra point.
Oops.
So either he got an extra point or Brian just didn't get enough points.
Well, Brian did.
Maybe that's why he tried to throw for the 3. He was just trying to match.
Match Stefanik. Yeah, sure. Match Stefanik. That's a guard, the center guard. Interesting. Okay. Adam being asked to draw around that guard.
Nice little finish there. It's not
But
quite
not
under
enough.
the guard.
It's completely exposed, actually. Well, okay, a corner is tucked.
Yeah, it's mostly exposed. Yeah, there's
Technically,
for all intents and purposes, that's an open rod.
yeah. So the red second.
So it's open. Rick's plan is going to be to throw the hit.
Yep. They've got the
It
brooms
looks
on it.
a little
I think that's. I
narrow.
don't
It
think
looks
that's
like
getting past the guard,
If they
That's-
cross the face, they might be able to make the
which
raise
is
here.
what they're trying for now.
changed the plan.
It's not going
It's
to cross
not
the
going to cross the
face.
face enough. It's going to go straight back.
But the weight is going to put that full 4. Okay, not quite full 4. Back 4.
It is shot still, and it's pretty covered.
Yeah,
They
actually.
can see the left side of that a bit.
Or Brian
and it's
could
far
raise.
enough back that
Brian
he
could raise his yellow.
Brian can raise his yellow, or I think because it's far enough below the guard, he might be able to just draw down to it.
Yeah, that's true. Which is what he's looking for. Calling for a T-line weight. And Michael Fry and Richard Chin are apparently done talking about various other things in the chat.
Item number 9.
That, at draw weight, that's going to wreck on a guard.
That might not even get to the guard. It's pretty much there, but just a little tick. It still had the weight, okay. It looked really light.
Yeah. Takes care of the guard, though. And actually puts 2 yellow stones in the house. So
Did it move the guard onto the yellow rock instead of the red, so the red is exposed.
Yeah.
And yellow is 1-3 or 2-3.
2-3.
No, it's 2-3.
2-3. Okay. Stones in motion. Feels light. And here comes the hook. Possibly, oh yeah, definitely too far. So the red stone that's currently shot is at least a quarter exposed.
Looks like about half on the camera.
Yeah, I believe half. And
Could
Brian's
be more than half.
Brian's definitely asking Nick to take it out.
Based on the angle from the hack, but it's definitely at least enough there to hit.
I think he threw that a little wide. He did throw that a little wide. I think it's going to go through the hole. Well, no, it's coming back. Nope, through.
Not enough.
So what's Rick got in mind for
Number 11. DC Crowd Beer Night.
Vice Stove?
This one over curling again as well, and also pretty light. It's just going to end up another guard on the pile. That one actually almost curled around the pile.
Yeah, that's
Still was only maybe a top 12 weight at the most there, though.
Hey, don't look now. Some of the rocks on sheet A are out of play.
Oh, no. I don't know if either skip was going to be able to plan around this.
Well, on the plus side, it's only the yellow stones are out of play. The red skip still got his all playing. All right, Brian Breen getting ready to throw his first stone. That red is pretty well exposed still. Yeah, it looks like he's just looking to hit it. I wouldn't whoa. The sweepers wanted to get on it. Nick called them off. Now they're on. Is he past the guard? Yes, he is.
Clear with enough room, and they're going to
Nice.
nose that stone.
Boom.
Little tiny roll.
Little rolls the outside, exposes him. And if it was half exposed previously, it's 3/4 exposed now.
It's almost fully exposed by my view, which is arguably not the best, but
all right, all of our games are still throwing the fourth end. Sheet D appears to, actually, I'm sorry, I lied. Sheet D is in the fifth. And red didn't score, so
yellow,
it's worse than it was.
I think I see the 4 hanging under the 8 over there, so it looks like it's 8-1, Team Stefanik.
And yep, absolutely.
So it was one more point in the fourth for the Stefaniks and Skinners.
Yeah. So that game's rapidly getting out of hand. The game on sheet C is 3-0 in the fourth. Red's the only one lying stones in the house at the moment, though, as yellow's getting ready to throw their last stone. Okay, red, Rich.
That's going to be a nice little touch.
How much rolls you get?
And he
Perfect.
rolls to the button. Pushes the yellow into the 12. That's got to be under those guards.
That's under 3. There's 3 stones between where Brian Green's going to be releasing his and that yellow. Now what there is, potentially, if he comes the other way, I think he could get there to raise the yellow onto the red. And actually, I think that's what Nick Datlow is pointing out right now. The draw line, I don't know that he can draw that draw line with enough force to move the stone far enough and get the break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see it. Yeah, if the red was behind the tee, which it's not fully, it doesn't look like it is fully.
No,
it's not. It's mostly.
It's on the tee, barely.
He might be able to get there just enough to touch it off the tee and be shot. But I think he really wants to try to maybe in off or angle raise or something to push it. But
now, to a certain extent, I guess he's okay with giving up a 1.
Oh, he's
certainly okay with giving up a 1.
Fine with giving up a 1 here with a 5-point lead.
A 2 probably doesn't even hurt his feelings much. So he's willing to take this chance. Ooh, yellow missed their shot badly on C. Red's lying 2. They could draw this to 3. There could actually be some action in the A event after this draw if he hits it.
H-O-A-S. H-O-A-S.
All right, Brian released his stone. It's a back 8 to back 12 weight. Sweepers aren't touching it at all. Cut's kicking in. It's not going to cut enough. It's going to be through.
Just through.
Actually, by back 8, back 12, I mean back hack.
Yeah.
And was that a 2 on sheet C or was that a 3? I think that may have only been a 2. At the very least, the sheet C game between Mangold and Noble has actually become a game. It's either 3-2 or 3-3. I'm not sure which. As soon as they hang up that 4th end score, I'll let you know. Rich getting ready to throw his last. He's just looking to basically do the draw in, and he needs quarter of the 4 foot. Roughly a quarter of the 4 foot. Honestly, at draw weight, that may not be enough room. Now, on the plus side, he threw outside it.
And I don't think he has enough draw.
No, he doesn't have the weight. That's not even going to...
That's about a 2 guard.
If it's even that. So he's got a 1. It's going to be 6-2. Team Fallon, skipped by Brian Green, over
Team Caruba,
skipped by Rick.
Rick Malala, yes.
Okay, so for the gentleman who was asking for updates on other sheets, who was that? Way back,
I think it was Brian.
40 minutes ago, because then we were listening to other discussions or whatever. It was, good grief. Brian, yeah, it was Brian Damon. Okay. If Brian's still here, we're updating.
And for anyone else who would rather hear about the A event over the C event,
not really much to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's Team Stefanik just roughhousing everybody that they run into so far.
8-1 over on sheet D, and it's about to get worse by the looks of things.
Yeah. But on sheet C, they're hanging at 2. So it
3-2. Noble. No, I'm sorry. Mangold over Noble.
Yes, so Noble got the 2. And then Mangold's guard is kind of out there on the fringe. I mean, it's a decent corner guard, but I'm pretty sure he didn't want a corner guard. Oh, actually, he probably did because he has the hammer now.
didn't want to. He didn't want
through the house on his stone. No,
that was not his good plan. And with 3 stones to play over on sheet A in the third end, we have 9 stones in play. So they are actually keeping their average.
And Richard, yes, this is Jimmy Fallon's team. I don't know the exact circumstances, but he did have some sort of event he had to attend to, and so he wasn't here on Thursday night either. And so while this is in the books as Team Fallon, the skip has been Brian Breen for all of their games in this field.
So it's late night without Jimmy Fallon.
It is indeed.
Well, that makes sense. He's been promoted to the Tonight Show, so. Smith's second stone here at the 5th end. He's looking to chip out that stone and clean through. Clean through. A lot of that going on tonight. Looking to split the house with this second lead stone. Looking to put it on the other side of the house, leave it split. It's got the distance. If anything, it might be
like
heavy.
It's got a lot of weight at the hog line there.
I think that one's going back 12 at least. Possibly back through. And
it does slow down a good bit in the house. That's going to hang around in the back.
Biting the back 12. So he's looking for his second Patty Hefner to put it behind the yellow stone in the top 12. All right, we're coming up to the 4th end hammer over here on sheet A with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stones in play. Well, actually, Richard, Nick is not thrilled. Doesn't particularly enjoy skipping. He likes playing Vice, and he's honestly probably right now being a very calming, good Vice for Brian. So Brian likes to Vice. Nick doesn't like to. It's working out very well.
And it does put the 2 pairs of pants there on the front end.
It does put the front end. It does put the pants on the front end, which is a factor. Did that get past the guard? That did get past the guard.
It is top 8.
Top
full
8.
Top, not quite full.
And fully buried. Okay, over on sheet A, that last yellow stone is in flight. Yellow looks like he's already lying too. He's trying to make a third out of it. Too much of a minefield. No way.
Nope. Oh, yep. Hits a guard, hits another guard.
So that's a 2 for yellow, which is going to make that 4-3. Depends on what he is, Richard. I need a little more information. If you're talking about Rich.
Looks like a hit on the stone in the back of the house.
That looks like, that's.
Except it looks like it's curled off of it. No, it's still got a little piece
Actually,
of it.
It's a draw.
Oh, a draw seems.
Unless it was a misthrow, it's a draw. And it's going to bury.
It's going to bury.
It's not going to bury. It actually it stays on the other side of the center line. It is shot, but it is 3/4 exposed. So Brian Bream is calling for the hit of that stone that was just delivered. Sweepers got on it almost immediately, actually immediately. But I think it's fast enough. I don't think it's going to overcurl.
Yeah, they haven't lost it. They're just keeping it on just to make the shot. It's not no risk hitting the guards.
He's not going to. He might roll out.
And
yeah, maybe.
That's not nice.
That's either, well, on the big TV, it might be biting. It's in that awkward. It's in that awkward. I really can't tell you for sure with range. So right now, Brian Breen's laying at least 3, maybe 4. As one Vice Stones now. Yes, first red Vice Stone being delivered by Linda Caruba. And looks like it's calling for the draw again.
This one looks like it has a lot less weight than the previous one.
Which is a problem, because that first one wasn't.
The first one was a very nice weight for a draw. The only thing wrong with it was maybe the line. It was only a couple inches off. It's got enough to get to the house. It may even have enough no.
Second shot. Second shot, and also completely exposed.
Yeah, the only sort of redeeming factor of that is when Brian inevitably calls for a hit on that, it will be pretty easy for that shooter to roll out. And so he's probably not going to get to 4 or 5 out of this.
Unless he cuts across the face and he has the whole house to play with on the other side, which that looks like kind of the line he's calling. Let's see what Nick does with this. He's definitely coming out with a good solid hit weight. Carried that stone pretty much all the way to the hog. That's over curling.
It's inside
That's
all
a miss.
The way.
That's a miss.
Just off.
Clean miss.
Just off.
I wouldn't have expected that much move on that at that weight. All right, so now what's Rich doing? Rich is he calling the draw again? You're just gonna keep drawing until somebody gets it right.
Yeah, well, this one's got a lot more weight, so it's definitely a better candidate for the draw. It looks a little wider.
At this point, it's gonna tap. It's gonna do a tap, because I don't think it's gonna get past. I'm at a little bit of an angle, so I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it's gonna do. It's gonna tap split.
Tap split. Oh, it's a little wick off.
Too much.
It's gonna sit back 4.
No, back 4. Okay.
Back 4 under the yellows.
That's actually that's it. You got 4 stones in front of that. That's it.
You can't raise the yellows because the red's on top of them. That's.
And there's too much. What's he got?
Did I hear him say in off?
I may have heard that. Now, ironically, actually, Nick likes the in off, but he likes calling them for when he's got the house as vice for his Monday night skip. We actually made 3 of them last Monday. It was kind of funny. Unfortunately, we missed the last shot of the game. Damn it. Yeah, Richard, you should have lost. I should have beaten you. Or your surrogate. Oh, well. Regardless.
No, I think he's just going to draw now.
Yeah, he's changed his mind. He's playing the draw.
He may not have even been calling in off. I heard the words in off come in over the ambient mics out there.
Yep.
We don't have the skips mic'd. We started out trying to get them out Thursday.
Whoa, that's a swing and a miss.
Lost the release there.
That shot is not going to do anything other than run straight into the sidelines. And Nick Dallow has a slightly bruised ego.
And maybe backside, but probably more the ego. And now he's got to get down to the other end of the ice and face the skip.
Yeah. Where the question will be asked, what was that? So,
as a vice, I have had to answer that question too many times.
Yeah. It's a skip I've had to ask it too many times. So Rich is taking advantage here. I assume he's just trying to draw in, put a second one in that nice buried.
Yeah, just following the first one down.
Put it right in that ball. Now, admittedly, he got there off an angle.
Oh, right. So
the draw, he didn't draw it the first time.
He can't exactly follow it, but he could kind of follow it.
The draw line's there. It would be have to be an awful lot of cut at the end to get it buried. Yeah. And actually, if he's going for this, he actually leaves the risk. If he leaves it too short, he could give Brian an opportunity to double.
Yeah, if he leaves it exposed and like opposite corner of the forefoot,
yeah, there's actually
it ends up being a pretty easy double.
Yeah, there's actually some danger here. But you know, when you're down 6-2,
yeah, you got to get rocks in the house.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, there's no way.
So, news update on the massacre on sheet Delta. For those of you who are close friends of Mr. Webb, you might want to turn away now. The score is currently 11-1 in favor of Stefanik. They hung another 4. I'm sorry, 3. It's 11-1. They are actually throwing the 6th. They haven't conceded yet, but.
When I saw that the Stefanics had gotten a 4, and then a 3, and then a 1, I thought maybe Webb, had started to figure it out and was going to start the backswing there.
Yeah, not so much.
Stefanik said no to that.
Yeah.
He saw that coming and immediately turned the tables back.
Yeah. So truthfully about the only chance that Webb has to win that game is if somebody on Stefanik's team fails the post-game drug test. We have post-game drug tests, right? No?
We haven't yet, but they are random. So, I mean, anyone could get called for them at any time.
Okay,
yeah.
it's possible.
You have to actually have alcohol in your system.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
The drug testing question is you have to make sure you have enough drugs in your system.
Yes.
So Brian Breen is throwing his stone. Rich came up short on his draw. He's the third shot. The draw path is still there.
Yeah, he didn't get the second shot, but he doesn't leave a double.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really leave much of a shot on that one.
No.
Because it just kind of jams or it doesn't leave you in. So, I mean, it didn't help him, but it didn't hurt him and may have helped him make a second shot.
Yeah,
later.
all Brian's really trying to do is outdraw it, I think.
He might be now going for the in-off or wicking off.
No, he's going for the outdraw. But he's
he
short.
Doesn't have the weight.
He doesn't have the weight. He's short. That's about the worst thing he can do right now. Although, again, Brian is probably okay with giving up the 1.
Rick to 1.
Although it would be a steal, not a
steal, but
he's
still going to be up 6-3. He's still going to have the hammer.
Yeah. So they're throwing the 6th on sheet C as well, but we do not have a hung score for the 5th. So we don't know what's going. We do know that red threw the first stone, so they must have stolen at least 1. So it's at least tied. There they go, they're hanging on. Yep, stole 1. So we do have it. Hey, we get action in the A event. After 5, it's tied at 3.
Rick now taking some time looking. Is he looking now maybe at the in-off to try to get a second point here?
Certainly considering it. With that line, he's definitely considering it.
He probably wants to draw, but now that the port isn't there, he wants to just sort of bank it off his rock that's not counting.
Or just an angle promote would also be
That
viable.
would also be great. Yeah, especially now that yellow guard is there, you don't have to push it all the way to the button anymore.
Yeah, he only really needs to make it about 3 feet to the right and about 2 feet deep. But not with that line. That line is not right for that shot. So that's.
It's almost like he's throwing for the nose, but that doesn't help
wouldn't
at all.
make any
he could tap it
sense.
straight back and maybe be inside the 12 and be third shot.
He'd have
that's
to be.
not gonna help.
That doesn't help.
He's got to hit it one way or the other. He's got to hit the outside and tap it in, or inside and roll in.
Yeah.
And so maybe he's going to cross the
Maybe
face
he's doing the inside and roll across the face. That's a possibility. It's a about back 12 weight, and they put the brooms on it immediately.
I think it might be on that yellow guard.
Or is he actually doing the draw? Did he find the hole? He tapped the guard.
The guard. Didn't catch enough of that as much of that as I thought he was going to there.
Tapped the guard, so that means Brian on his hammer. What can he do? The draw hole got opened up by that,
actually. The draw hole is opened up, but can you get to the button?
Don't really need to, honestly. Honestly, really, all you need is deep forefoot. You know, even if you're like a couple inches off the button, you're still going to end up being shot. Yeah. And he's playing with house money here because he's already got the second stone. So
he's already
no
second. So that's why I'm wondering if he's already second. If instead of just trying to draw for shot, I don't know. There's definitely no play at the shot rock here between the layers of guards on top of it.
No, okay, Adam's joining in the conversation. Adam's pointing out. Adam tends to do this. Adam tends to go, there's this option, and sometimes it's a good idea. Sometimes it's not such a good idea. Okay, Brian. Nope, I'm wrong. I take it back. I was about to say Brian appears to have settled on a shot, but then he skated back. Okay, folks watching along at home, what would you do here? Give us some suggestions. Richard? Okay, he's doing an in-off, and I say that because Nick is sitting there lining up angles. Okay, Brian Damon is saying he would draw the button in turn, which, yeah, I tend to. That's one of the things we were discussing, one of the possibilities. We'd be good with that, but it appears that Brian's doing an in-off off that exposed red. This might be one of those situations where the fact that this is only his second year skipping doesn't necessarily make the best call. He's got the hit. What's going to happen with the roll? It's rolling. No. It's rolling wide. Red takes the steal of one.
Pretty nice effort on the shot, though, because if he did get the right roll and get to shot and move that red stone out of there, he was going to get his two.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it seems like at least it was a good gamble in a sense, and that he couldn't. There was no harm in giving up the one, and there wasn't any way he was going to give up more than one there.
Yeah. So the steal goes up. It is now 6-3 after 5. Jimmy Fallon's team, skipped by Brian Breen, ahead of Linda Caruba teams, skipped by Rich. I can't pronounce his last name. Meanwhile, yellow is throwing over on sheet D. Stefanik is throwing his last stone in the 6th end. I'm pretty sure it's going to be his last stone of the game. Pretty much has to be. Because he is quite intelligently just playing the hit everything game. And, yep, so red has the hammer, but he's only got one in the house, and he doesn't have another one available. The most Webb can get is 2, which would put him down 11-3 with only 2 ends to play. It's not forced to be a concession, but realistically, that game's in the books. still in the 6th end on sheet C. Actually, we got about half the 6th end. And in the A is still in the 5th end. And this is going to sound like a broken record. There are 13 stones in play.
Yeah, they're definitely taking their time over there, getting all their money's worth, making sure every rock counts, and making sure that they use every minute of their allotted time for their draw.
Yeah, I guess. I kind of feel sorry for the 10-15 draw folks who are going to have to follow those guys, because at this pace, they're going to get on the ice tomorrow. On the plus side, that does mean they can say they played on Sunday.
They played on Sunday. You know what? I made that same remark a couple years ago playing in the Chesapeake Potomac Invitational, the Meltdown. We were in what was supposed to be, I believe, the 9:30 p.m. Saturday draw. You know, things got behind throughout the day.
Yep.
Our draw ended up starting at 10:30 or plus. So midnight passed during our game.
Right about the 6th end. Hey, we're
and
playing
I pointed
on
out,
Sunday.
pointed up at the clock. I was like, look, everybody, we're playing on Sunday. And
Yep.
everyone just kind of gave me that, yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Because at that point, no one was actually excited about it.
Yeah, I did that I had that at the Dykes one year, too. It was, yeah, and yeah. So, I miss the Dykes. Oh, well. And, yeah, so sheet D, game over. I actually didn't see if he got his 2 or not. I'm going to assume he did. I'm going to assume he did, just because it makes it sound better.
Yeah.
So, final score on sheet D. Stefanik, 11. Webb, possibly 2, possibly 3. We're going to give him 3.
You know, we'll say he got an 8 and shook. We'll say it was 11 and 9.
11 and 9 and
Yeah.
shook? Okay, yeah. That's so they've been taking pictures. That was a 7.
Okay, it was a 7.
7.
It wouldn't
Okay.
be an 8, yeah.
So that's over. So the only question remaining is who the opponent is going to be for the what's the best way to describe the process that he's been putting his opponents through? Dismemberment?
That seems a little extreme, but I want to say that his game I was
decimation?
calling on Thursday night, it wasn't as extreme, but he did still, by the time he got to the 8th, he was up 5. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they're a strong team, and they're having strong games.
Yeah.
The game on C right now is a close game. We're not seeing a lot of big ends, but the two teams are both playing probably to avoid the big end. So it's hard to say, how that caliber compares to the Stefanik rink.
That's true.
Because they're not playing against each other yet.
Yep. Well, we'll know right about noon tomorrow. Well, we'll know by about 20 after.
We give them a couple ends. I mean,
So they're having a committee meeting over on sheet A. I believe a filibuster has actually been suggested. I'm not sure if there's 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans on that team or not. And, oh, that did not quite go what... I guess it's not bad. Actually, no, it's good. Okay. So... the ask is for a centerline guard, guarding that stone on the button, or outside back 8. Where am I getting button out of that? On the back 8. I'm not drinking, believe it or not. Maybe I should start. Okay.
that looks like decent guard weight. It's light, but it's not super light. It's going to clear the hog by a good margin. Could be a nice tight 3 guard.
Really, I'm thinking bite.
Yeah, they're going to let that drop. Rolls to the top 12. Above the rock in the back 8.
Pretty good. Yeah, that's a very viable guard. Viable enough that Brian's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the other guard up higher, there's none of that rock exposed. So he definitely wants to peel one of those 2.
Looks like a peel.
It's got the
That's
peel,
peel.
punches it all the way through.
And he actually sticks around, so that stone could actually score later. Meanwhile, over on sheet A.
Chide, the same committee is still meeting, I think? I don't
No,
think
actually, it's
there's
the other. It's the opposing committee.
been- Okay, I had
They
noticed
did
it wrong.
they did ultimately throw the last Yellowstone or Redstone. Yeah, they did actually ultimately throw the last Yellowstone.
Okay.
And actually, I'm thinking right now it looks like Yellow is lying 2. Red's got 1 in the 4-foot also. So, and of course, 17 guards. While we're on the subject of guards, another one there by Team Caruba, although not as good as the first one.
No, it doesn't leave the rock exposed, but there is some
is double
separation between them there. Yeah.
Yeah, there is actually a run back double is very, because, well, yeah, a straight run back would actually take them both. And that's what Brian's calling for. Should we put a shot clock on FIDE?
There is already a game clock in play, and so I'm sure they're going to run up into that.
All right, Brian Breen's having Nick throw his stone.
Although you mentioned a filibuster, I think at a certain point the other skip should be able to invoke cloture.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
just make them pick a shot.
Yep. And
That's
peel.
gonna peel.
And
gonna,
do that.
Yeah.
And okay. Is that going to get out? It's not
it's
enough
not
of a peel.
gonna get out.
I mean,
but
it's
it is like
irrelevant.
sixth shot. I
Yeah,
guess.
fifth. Okay. Ian Drummy has just gotten out the protractor, and Brian Breen's taking a selfie on the ice. An unusual curling move. Generally, they tell you not to put your cell phone in your pocket while you're playing. Oh well. It is the C event. Who cares?
I mean, depending on how you get there, the C event can still be one-loss teams. I mean,
True.
just like the B event or the G
True.
event. I mean,
Okay, this one is very deep. This is a freeze on his shot on the stone.
it would be a
possibly.
freeze if they made it one, but it's going to sit up on the boat.
No. Okay. That is that exposed? How's that? Yeah, it's plenty exposed. That's
It would win the mystery box. That's all I know.
that. Yeah, it would definitely get the box, but I think it's about to go bye-bye.
I think it is, and I bet the one behind it is too.
Yeah.
If all goes according to plan.
Okay, so we have a 6th end completion on seat C, and we know that Red has scored.
So that's another steal.
Yes.
Stone's on the way here.
They're putting the broom on it now. Oh, it's not out. Yeah, gets that back one moving. Yes, nicely done.
Nice double, and that leaves Yellow lying 4.
4, yes, definitely 4. As Rick gets ready to throw his first skip stone.
And now with all the Reds either out or just out counted, what does he have left? I guess he just tries to draw back in. But
Yeah, he's pretty much got it. He's got some, or, you know, he's considering the freeze over on this yellow pile over here. But no, he's gonna draw. What's he draw? Yeah, he's gonna try to draw behind that high center guard. He's gonna try to draw behind that high center guard. And whoa, actually, you remember you were talking about teams were playing to avoid the big end on C? That's a 3.
that is a 3. That's a steal of 3.
That's a steal of 3. It was
so
tied at 3. It's now 6-3 in favor of Noble. So that may be the backbreaker there. I mean, it's only a special. Ooh, and a hog. That could be the backbreaker on that one.
it is the 6th end. There's 2 ends to play.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mangold really needs to match that. He's got to get a 3
a 2 at the very least.
At the very minimum. I mean, he's looking for a 3 or 4. But I mean, if he scores, he loses the hammer. So you figure he wants to get 3 or 4.
Yeah.
To make Noble come home and win it. Okay,
so we're having a little bit of a discussion here on B. They call timeout. Okay, you got your timeout. We'll give it to you. We don't have a clock running, but that's okay. Hey, we finished the 5th end on A. And yellow hung a 2. So Kokorin is now up 5-4. That game's going back and forth.
It's a shame that they're the one having the closest game, and they're the least likely to get all 8 ends in.
Yeah. Because they're just starting the 6th. One game's already conceded. One game's in the 7th. One game is on skipstones in the 6th. And the other guys are just now starting the 6th. So they're a whole end behind.
And even the game that conceded was through 6, basically, when they conceded.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it may have been mid-6. They may have just run out of rocks.
No,
and
it was
conceded,
the last zone.
Oh yeah, so then.
Of course, when you're up 11-1, you tend to curl quickly.
Yeah, you don't throw shots that need a lot of deliberation.
Yeah.
Your hits, throw through.
Yeah.
But here comes Rick's draw.
Okay, he's trying. I think he was trying.
Oh
to
no, he's
freeze.
actually gonna.
He was
Looks
trying
like he's
to
doubling 2 out.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna. They're both gonna spill. Actually, no. One spilled.
He does sit shot.
But
there's
it's
no
open.
cover. I mean,
It's open. There's no
the
cover.
only guard out there is that high center guard.
Yeah.
And there's nothing on the center line in the house.
So now Brian does have to be careful against the jam. If he crosses the face too much, it could be a jam, and actually that would be a jam that would make that redstone shot. But Brian's goal at this point is, I mean, obviously he's got the hammer, so he'd like to. He'd probably take 1 to stop the bleeding and be up 7-3. Because you got to like being up 4 with only 2 to play.
Oh yeah, and even. Yeah, I mean, a 1 is fine just to switch the ends back around. And then scoring in the 6th means he's setting up to take the hammer home in the 8th if they get there.
So he's just going for a nice open hit. Put the brooms on it quickly.
They do want to put the brooms on it.
And then took him
to
off.
make sure he gets the outside edge of this, but
they got it. They're just keeping it clean now.
Yeah.
Now they're hard. Oh, it's definitely
it's
got contact.
Not crossing
It's
the
a
face
nose.
at all, so he's got this.
Pretty much a nose.
Yep.
So he's again sitting.
Back to
Actually,
sitting
I think
4.
he's sitting 4. Yeah.
That redstone is not fully in the 12-foot, and all the yellow ones are. So.
And Rick is now going, golly gee, Batman, what do you propose to do? Because realistically, he needs to steal this 1. He certainly doesn't. He certainly needs to not give up the 4.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he could maybe get through this if he gives up a 1 and takes the hammer, as opposed to continuing to have to try to steal. But
realistically, I honestly don't see him having a shot where he only gives up 1.
not really. I mean, maybe if he can get to full 8 under that center guard, but then I'm pretty sure there's some way to remove it, even because the guard's really high.
It is a crazy high guard. Well, he's got his idea. That looks like a draw in behind the car. Judging from the broom and turn. Although we've seen it draw weight. Just saying.
You're right. He probably wants maybe a little bit more ice, but he's been a little bit outside the broom on these as well.
True. That is true.
I mean, skips are never off the broom, and so it just means it just doesn't curl as much for them. That's
sure,
all.
of course. Yeah, that's all that ever means. It actually teaches that in skip school. And as per usual, he was not outside the broom.
Not at all.
No, of course. I'm not a big fan of the weight on this, though.
It looks heavy to me.
Now
it's dying, yeah.
It looks light. I'm not
Probably
even sure this makes the house.
I'm
not even sure this makes house.
Definitely not going to be shot if it does.
And then
you
know what? He's making a liar out of all of us.
Yep, that's going to touch the 4-foot.
Okay, that's why we're behind the glass and they're out there.
But
it's
not under
exposed.
the guard. So
It's at least half exposed.
there's a shot for 5 here.
Yeah, which would probably end this game, honestly.
11-3. Looks like they're taking a look at the clock. Well, Linda's taking a look at the clock. Nick and Brian are just looking at how they're going to get 5.
Yeah, and even if they just get the hit and the shooter rolls out for 4, that's not bad either. So they're playing the 6th over in A. Actually, they're picking up the pace over there on A.
I look over and I only see 4 rocks in play,
Yeah,
and they're all red. So yeah,
They're picking up the pace. They're only half an end behind now. They were a whole end behind. All these discussions that they had on this one. Is that going to get past the guard? If that gets past the guard, he's got it. But I don't think he's past it. Is
so
he?
close.
No,
Oh,
he
just
kissed
rubs.
off and rolls
the house.
through
That's
harmlessly.
gonna be the
That's a
steal
steal of
for
1.
them.
It's another steal. Nibble by nibble, he's getting this through. 2 more steals and he ties this up, you know. And that does make
Look
it
at that,
6-4. Did I just hear the bell?
I think I
Did I
heard
just
the
hear the
bell.
cowbell?
I think I heard the cowbell. So because this game did finish their 6th just now, I think that counts for them, and so they'll get to play 8. C is already in the 7th, so they're fine. It does mean that the game on A will only get to play 7. As we were sort of expecting just based on the way they were pacing out the game when they started.
Right.
But
Well, they hadn't thrown the first rock of the 7th on B, so I'm not sure if they get 8.
I'm not sure. They did finish the 6th, though. I mean, the rock
Technically,
stopped.
usually it's when the bell rings, it's the end you're on plus the next, and they hadn't thrown. I guess we'll know here shortly.
Yeah, I guess it's. I guess someone will have to confirm. I think I saw earlier, maybe on Thursday, there was a game where they called it, since they had finished the 6th, they could play 2. Like they
And
were.
for that matter, it may have just been a cowbell of it may have just been a cowbell of happiness.
That's true.
I actually want one of those, a cowbell of happiness.
Well, any cowbell can be the cowbell of happiness if you just designate it as such and use it.
Yeah, okay, good point.
I mean, you probably want to decorate it or something as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just a regular cowbell isn't very happy.
So, boy, Brian's playing like he thinks this is the last end. And the reason I say, well, no, never mind. I thought he called that through the house, but no, he didn't.
Well, if he did, then that was a terrible shot because
Yeah.
it's about the T-line. It's right into the guard for what that's worth, even though the guard is 30 feet in front of the house.
My distance vision is a little off.
I just can't see the other end from all these people in the way.
Yeah.
Just watching the camera feed myself.
Ooh.
I hear rocks moving on A.
Lots of rocks moving on A.
Oh,
All of
yes.
the rocks moving on A.
Looks like it's 1 red now
Yeah.
from whatever it was before.
It was 3 red. And unfortunately, that was red that threw.
Oh,
Um,
that is unfortunate. I
sometimes-
thought maybe yellow made a big triple or something.
sometimes
but
bad things occur. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. So Brian, what is Brian doing? He's guarding. Is he guarding up?
well, this is. It's guard weight, but it's curling off of that stone.
Yeah, it is. It's a major curl.
And it didn't. Did it clear the hog line? It did
They're
not
not
to me.
kicking it, or they're taking a look. They're taking a look, and hog.
Is gonna look. Yeah, it's a hog.
Whoa, we've up to 30 viewers. So, hello, various people who are seeing this in a worldwide audience.
Yeah, when this draw started, we were in the low teens.
Yeah.
So
if you were calling,
have
yeah,
almost tripled our viewer count.
exactly. So if you were planning on tuning in for an update on the incredibly tight nip and tuck game on Sheet D, yeah, sorry about that. The Sheet D game is over. Stefanik put the foil to Webb. Let's borrow a slap shot metaphor. Put the foil to Webb. That one ended 11-3 early. Over on Sheet C through 6, it is 6-3 in favor of Noble. On Sheet A, which game is only going to go 7 ends because they're way behind the clock, after 5, it is 5-4 in favor of Kokorin. Our feature game on Sheet B is Team Fallon being skipped by Brian Breen, who has 6 points, ahead of Team Caruba being skipped by Rick Ballora, who has 4. That game should be going 8 ends, we believe. We're not 100% certain. The bell was rung just as they finished the 6th, so we don't have a ruling one way or the other.
Yeah, it depends on what Vince had in mind there. I've been in places where they said, you know, if the rock's out of your hand, it counts, just like if it was the last end on your clock. And I've been in places where they say you have to start the next end.
Yeah.
So
I'm a little fussy on my knowledge of that one. Judging from the two teams' strategy, though, they're not playing like this is the 8th end or the last end.
Right.
Or Ryan's playing badly like this is the 8th end, which I suppose is an option. We're on the last sheet, redstone on Sheet C. And actually, you know how we were saying yellow was going to need to make a comeback there? I'm seeing 2 yellow ones in a good position. I'm not seeing any red ones. So they might be doing that.
I'm seeing a red one way in the back. And I'm seeing a raise here by red. That is going to move those 2 yellows.
Those 2 yellows. Wow. That was probably a game-winning shot right there.
Yeah, it was 2 yellow, now it is 1 red.
They're in the 7th, and we actually know that game's going 8.
Yes, they're well ahead. Playing a really quick pace over there.
Did Brian really mean to throw a guard up like that? Or was that a miss? I don't understand. I wouldn't understand the guard, so I'm assuming that was a miss. Sheet A is playing a remarkably clean game. Clean end. There's only 8 stones in play, as they are actually on the last skip stones. So it's a new record for them. Caruba puts another in the front of the house. Caruba's lying 2. They are behind by 2 with 2 ends to play, we think. They do need to get some steal action going here. Okay, Brian, he called for T-line on that turn. Is he just tapping the redstone?
I don't like the way that's curling for anything tapping that red stone.
No, is he just trying to freeze? Oh, is he just trying to freeze to the red
is
in
he
the
going to
back?
maybe hit and roll off of that one?
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's got the tap and he got the roll. He didn't get enough roll, I don't think. No, not at all.
No, it's not under anything. It is shot.
And actually, that makes. I mean, Rick doesn't need to play the double. Okay, and red got the 1 in the 7th over on sheet C. So that puts them up 7-3 coming home in the 8th. They're looking for a double takeout here, or at least a heavy 1 takeout. He's got to get to the nose. It doesn't get to the nose. He's going to pick out that top one, and the shooter's going to roll out. All right, so over on sheet C, it looks as though we're in the end game. We're definitely in the 8th end. Noble is very much in charge, so it looks like our final is going to be Noble versus Stefanik at noon tomorrow for the whole championship. That could be a really good game.
It should be a good game, and that means we'll also then see Mangold here and
Webb
and
in
Webb
the D.
for the D.
Yes. Assuming, of course, that Mangold doesn't manage to pull off the 4-point take, which is always possible. It has happened.
I've seen it.
I've given up a 5 in the 8th to lose. So it is very doable. And he's got 2 very high guards, so he's done the first part of the job. He's put 2 guards up. Datlow throwing his stone. Did not do what he wanted to do there. He wanted a peel takeout, and all he really did was promoted that red stone to behind cover. That was not what he wanted.
No, it wasn't.
Not in the slightest. Oh my God, my virtual kitty cats are out of food.
Is that something you need a few moments for, or is just between draws enough?
It'll be okay.
Okay.
I'll take care of it. I don't know why my thing's notifying me that my virtual cats are out of food, because honestly, my virtual cats deserve to be out of food.
Well, and anyone who has real cats knows that they always think they're out of food.
Yeah,
I mean,
and another guard up here on C. I mean, they're doing what you got to do. If you need to get a big number,
yeah, if that's
there.
I mean, you've got to get your corner guards up, split the house, and then just hope for misses.
Miss.
Yeah.
And it's just a question right now whether Noble will make whether there'll be a miss. And there wasn't on the first one. They did the peel, although I don't think he's thrilled with where his shooter ended up on that last
the fact
peel.
that it stayed in play, I think, is not great for him.
So he's looking to try to peel off this other guard. Looks like it looks like the clean miss. No, it's a peel. It's a valid peel. It's a perfect peel, actually. So actually, if I'm not mistaken, that puts yellow down. They're thrown 3. They have 5 more, and they have to get 4. So
all of them got to be in the house.
They can
basically.
they can throw 1 more guard.
Well, because of that red that's over there, they have sort of a double wide guard over on this side. So I mean, they could start by just drawing behind.
Yep. They just got to hope for a series of misses. I believe we're throwing the hammer in the 6th end over on A. Red is currently lying 2, throwing for a 3rd, although it would be a hard get. They might accidentally it's going to promote that yellow. The question is how much they got to promote it.
Not
enough to be a problem.
It's going to be 2 red.
So that puts them up 6-5.
With only one
end to play. So Nichols is up over Kokorin, 6-5, going into the 7th end, which is their last.
Final end. Yeah.
Right. And over on sheet C, yellow did not get behind the cover fully enough, and they just paid the price.
The takeout, which leaves
Does
them
not
with,
officially end. They're
they're
dorming. To put it in golf terms, they're dorming. They've
Yes,
got
they
4
are.
stones left. They've got to score.
and they've
4.
got to score every single one. Yes.
Yep. So really, about all they can do at this point is they can freeze on that red, hope for a miss. Yeah, they've got options for how to play, but
Not a lot.
not a lot of options. The options are basically at this point win the lottery.
Which people win the lottery all the time.
True statement.
Nobody did win the $1 billion jackpot for predicting a perfect NCAA bracket.
No, I was out on the first game.
As was I. And my national champion just lost in the Sweet 16.
I didn't
so
want to talk about it,
stopped.
actually, to be honest. We changed the subject, thanks.
Yes, let's go back to curling.
That should do it because that shot on sheet C did not even make the house. Are they continuing to throw? Well, I guess it's theoretically possible. You can do some tick raises. It's not over yet. And it's the A event semis. Yeah. They're on the clock. Give them every chance they get. That's fine.
And on the other side, they also do have to just get the rocks down here anyway.
Yeah,
so
true.
Play it out and they're down here.
Nothing's being hurt. But this hit on sheet C, this hit is for the game. If they get this hit, it is game over. However, although how one would, okay, you only get, he's fighting the good fight. Mangold is fighting the good fight. He's going to keep going until he's told he doesn't have. There's no possible way. I mean, right now, realistically, there is no. I don't know if it's possible to do a tick raise spin of 7 feet.
Right, and especially the one yellow guard actually has a red guard under it, so I don't think there's any way to get to the house.
He doesn't need that one. He needs the other one.
He needs the other one. Okay. Yeah.
That stone's exposed. So Noble just needs to hit this. If he hits this, it's officially game over. Okay, they're shaking. They've realized that it's over. Okay, so we have our A event final is set. It will be Stefanik versus Noble for the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel Championship tomorrow at noon. The D event final will be Mangold versus Webb. We still have lots of action to determine what's going on in the B and C.
We do. These other 2 games on A and B are the C, or 2 of the C event quarterfinals.
Right.
The winners will play tomorrow morning before the finals.
Right.
And then the 10 o'clock draw will have the other 2 quarterfinals. It'll now be the probably 10:30ish draw.
Okay, well, 10:15 is the official start.
Oh, they might make that actually. No, I'm not seeing it. Probably more like 10:20, 10:25. But that's not really that bad considering they've had how many draws today, and they're only about 10 minutes
exactly.
behind.
Only 10 minutes behind on a Bonspiel is not bad.
But yeah, the other 2 games in that draw will be the other 2 C event quarterfinals, and I believe the B event semifinals. Or
no, there'll be the other two B semis. No, B
there
semis.
only are 2 B semis.
Yeah, good point.
That'll probably be the 2 B semis, and that'll set the B final, and then tomorrow morning we'll have a C semi.
You know what?
2 C semis.
If I only had this picture of the draw. So we have. There will be there'll be the two B semis.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that C? That's B.
That's B.
That's B. So there'll be the 2 B semis next, and
the other 2 C
the other
quarters.
2 C quarters. So Brian Breen getting ready to throw his hammer here in the 7th. Brian. Brian Breen getting ready to throw his hammer here in the 7th. He's actually facing 2 reds. He needs to do he's just looking to draw, I think. And he needs a solid bite of the 8-foot to take his 1. If he misses this altogether, the game's tied coming home. They're sweeping that off. Okay, apparently he just decided to do the hit. I'm not sure. Well, did he get it? He's got the hit. Is he going to stick around?
He's going to stick around, and that's going to be 1.
That's going to be his 1. Okay, and we actually shaking.
Shake it. Okay.
Okay, so Brian Breen makes the hit to take 1 in the 7th. Be up 7-4. 7-4, yes, 7-4. And that is the game. They have called it. So all that we are left with at this point is the game on sheet A, which is crazy close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure on B they would have been allowed to continue, and only down 3 points with the hammer. I would have thought Rick's team would have gone for it.
Maybe they were on the clock.
Maybe they were told not to. I mean, they are starting to sweep and mop the other sheets, but that's just because they're done anyway.
So maybe they were on the clock. Wouldn't seem likely because they're not over time yet. Yeah. Don't know. Regardless, it was either on the clock or the skip chose to concede, being down 3. So either way, Ryan Breen moves on to play tomorrow at 9 a.m. Unless Jimmy Fallon is back. Well, Brian's still playing in that case, but somebody.
One of these 4 would not be then.
Yeah, exactly. Probably the lead, I'm guessing.
Although at this point, I mean, like your starting quarterback is injured, and then suddenly he's not. Sometimes you just keep riding the hot hand and keep that old guy on the bench.
So I don't know. I don't know who's going to be at that one at 9 o'clock. So we're going over to A right now to show you the final few stones. Where are we in A? We are throwing. We are actually that stone that just hit was the last second stone. So
we are halfway through the end.
We are halfway through the end. There are 8 stones remaining. Yellow, which is Kokorin, has the hammer.
Overhead cam has lost its color. I've seen that happen before. I'm not sure what the remedy is, other than maybe like hit things.
The overhead cam. What are you saying? The overhead cam has lost its color.
One of the house cams has no color.
Oh. No, it's not the overhead because that's it right there.
Then it's this box then, because on here, the house cam was in black and white.
Oh, well. Okay. So, regardless, here's the situation.
But that's why you play with 1 dark stone and 1 light stone. So even in black and white, you know who's who. So to all those people out there that like the red and the blue, doesn't work so good in black and white.
Understand.
Red and yellow works fine.
So Kokorin is down by 1. However, does have the hammer in the 7th and final end. Currently, Nichols has the shot rock on the button. There is a yellow stone in the back 12. The first vice stone for Nichols is on its way down the ice.
It looks like it's probably going to be on those guards.
Looks like they were just adding to a guard. All they were trying to do was guard it up, which that's a viable guard.
Yeah, because red is ahead by 1. Yeah, so
yeah,
actually red being shot and just piling up the guards is a winning strategy here.
Right. Yeah, because they're okay with a steal of 1 or a blank. They don't care.
Yeah.
Yellow.
The red is Nichols. Other one is.
So Kokorin stone. They're looking to try to get some of these guards out of the way. They've got 1, although all it did was it raised onto their yellow 1 in the back. So red is now lying 2. All right, so we are here in A. As Team Nichols throws their second Vice Stone, I believe. Yes. Their second Vice Stone, which they're just trying to put the guard back. Looks like that will accomplish that. Yeah, that accomplishes
So
that.
a little touch on the yellow, but it doesn't hurt.
We have a different lead that's on our list. Does that matter to you?
Are you on B?
Our lead is Don.
Okay. Hold on. Just put the names. Last name is fine right there. Okay, so yellow throwing their last Vice Stone. Again, trying to peel out some guard action. That looks like a clean miss. No, actually it's not. Yeah, it's that pick. Is that pick off a guard?
It looked like it deflected once it got
So
to
it
the end of
deflected
the
off a guard,
sheet, like
yeah.
it did wick off a guard, but it doesn't look like any of the guards moved. Actually, no, those reds are a lot closer together now, so I think it did hit the outside of the two red guards that were off the center line
Okay.
and pushed one in onto the center line there. That's not where that guard was before, so that, there was a little bit of a crash there. And so red here with the first skip stone is probably going to put up another guard, I would imagine.
There's no reason not
There's
to.
no reason to throw in because it just,
Yeah.
if it's exposed, it just gives the other
Yeah.
team the way into the house.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason not to.
Especially with some of the idiosyncrasies of our warm wall sheet A here.
Yeah.
Andrummy will, attempt to use some of her home ice advantage.
That's true. So it's coming down. All she's doing is guarding. Although that looks kind of heavy for a guard, truthfully.
That's slowing down.
Yeah.
Not any heavier than
It's
top
gonna, I
house
think
at
it's
the
going
most.
to tap that. Yeah, taps that in, which, that's nice, actually. Yellow is in a world of hurt right now, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Red's line 3, they're all pretty buried. And yellow needs to get 2 to win here, I believe. It's 6-5.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, a 1 would force a
one
skip
forces
straw.
this tie.
Yeah, 1 forces a skip straw, which is not, not the end of the world for them.
No, I mean, if it's like playing to the shootout in hockey. If you've got a specialist for it, then that's another valid way to win a game.
Exactly. All right. So unless I am mistaken, this will be Nichols' last shot. Yes.
I think he might have one more.
No, he does one more. You're absolutely correct. Actually, this is Kokorin's last shot. First shot. I'm sorry. Wow. As soon as the game is no longer in front of me, I have no clue anymore. right, so Korin's first stone on his way down. He's trying to move some granite to create a path to do something with. And he's got one move in, and that's all that happened. He just picked something out there. That
didn't really get the job done. He really needed to clear. He needed to move a lot of rocks.
He needed to move at least 2, and he moved 1. And actually, he just put it back. So, and Drummy, the skip for Nichols, in a beautiful spot, honestly. Up by 1 with the last stones getting ready to be thrown. And really, she's just going to junk it up more. Because she's already
sitting 3.
She's already got 3, including 1 on the button. So she's just going to junk something up front to make life that much harder for Korin's last shot. So she's just looking for
anything in front of the house anywhere.
Anything between the hog and the house is perfectly acceptable. And Drummy, one of the teams who was on our GNCC women's representative at the Women's Club Nationals approximately a month ago. They finished pretty much strongly in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, they had a couple really good games. I mean, a couple not as strong games, but I mean, it's a strong field.
Exactly.
You're going to run into some of these teams coming out of Wisconsin and Minnesota that,
yep,
you know, their club teams are just like their nationals teams. And
exactly.
And I think that was also a team of Van Drummy and like 3 people from like a 500 team.
Yes, exactly.
So that was a really strong showing,
yeah,
and it's just a really nice experience for them.
Exactly. I actually think in a couple of years, those guys, if they want to keep doing it, they'll be a very strong team if they keep it together. So Anne threw her guard up. So basically, at this point, Korin is looking at, is he looking at the in-off? He's looking at the in-off, isn't he? Which is really, do you see any better options? I don't.
Maybe the sort of angle raise takeout from the other side, but I don't like that any better than the in-off.
The in-off's got less moving parts. And
it
hello,
does.
Allison. Nice to see you. You're here for literally the last shot of this draw. But we will, and all those of you who are still watching, we'll be back approximately 10 minutes after this for the 10:15 draw, which actually will probably start closer to 10:20, which will be some B event and C event quarterfinals. All right, Korin getting ready to throw his last stone. Raise? Corner raise?
I mean, it's got a chance. I mean, just like the in-off would have had a chance. I mean, he needs 1 for the tie, and this is as good a shot as any to get that 1.
So it's got good steam. Sweepers are on it. Calling loud.
No, he's inside the
missed everything.
Stone.
He has missed everything. That's the game.
He's going to sit third shot.
Third shot. That's concession.
It's 2 red.
So
it's
8-5 is the final score. Nichols beats Korin. Nichols advances to play tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Yes. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. in a Akebono event semifinal against the winner of the Buffington Baggett game, which will be in our next draw. Down in the other semifinal, it will be Team Fallon, skipped by Brian Breen, at least at the moment, against the winner of the Enix and Malfi game. Ooh, that should be a good one.
That will
on
be a
sheet
very
C coming up here momentarily. So that wraps it up here in draw 14 at the Potomac Curling Club. We'll be back in approximately 10 minutes with draw 15. Those of you watching this live on live stream, this stream will end. There'll be a new one. You know how it goes. See you in a few minutes. Hi, Allison's mom in Miami. See you in 10 minutes. Bye-bye.